level terms with that goal on the stroke of half time. Here is the kick-off then. Aston Villa gets back underway. Kamara in possession. Differing kick-off styles. Goes PSG. Seems to lump the ball out almost rugby style further up the pitch. So Buendia will have a run of this ball down the line. And, wow, a free kick given against Buendia for a foul on Mendes. Not too dissimilar to an incident in the first half where McGinn was judged to have fouled Nuno Mendes. Among the Aston Villa substitutes is a player who's won the UEFA Super Cup before, Tammy Abraham. He was in the Chelsea side that beat Unai Emery's Villarreal in 2021. Albeit he was an unused substitute. Hakim Ziyech. The players that starred for Chelsea in that match. Villa ended the first half stronger, and they're starting the second half brightly here. Good tackle, Holt's João Gomez. The Brazilian who spent 3 years at Wolves, but now moves on to Aston Villa, around £34 million that move. Of course, he's bravely spoke out about having a stutter, and well, Maggio has just been brought down. He's been tripped on the touchline. He's almost in disbelief, Maggio, that he didn't get a free kick there off Doué. So he's a brute force of a man, Maggio. Here is Hakimi. Pass inside is blocked by Matson. Matson cuts it the line. Maggio chests it down. Gomez just got in a little bit of a cul-de-sac there. Lost the ball, and then Buendia also loses out, and there's some space for Hakimi on the right-hand side. He plays it to Doué. Doué turns away, then tries to flick it round Hemmings. Hemmings though shows good strength, wins the ball back for Aston Villa, and Buendia helps it on to Maggio. Maggio goes down, gets a free kick. Maggio's hold-up play, at 17 years old. He looks quite the prospect for Aston Villa. You can see why they were desperately keen to get his registration through. Knocked the ball over the top, that didn't come. And, it's a free kick for that foul by him. Coutinho will get it on quicker. But Aston Villa have, although they've not had the chances as yet, they've continued the momentum they built at the end of that first half, which ultimately resulted in Maggio scoring the equaliser. Zaire Emery for PSG on the right hand side, plays it back to Hakimi. Now Doué, step over, plays it sideways to Vitinha. He's Kvaratskhelia, he's dropped back. Now, tried to slide the ball through for Vitinha, that he wasn't expecting. It rolls harmlessly through for the goalkeeper. Aston Villa, if they were to win tonight, would set a new record for the longest gap between Super Cup wins at 44 years. And the previous longest is shared by Valencia and Liverpool, who both won it 24 years. There's now a pass from Buendia, sets Maggio away. He's got McGinn to his right. He lays it off for John McGinn. McGinn onto his left foot, shoots, it takes deflection, and Safonov palms it away. But Maggio providing such a focal point for that Aston Villa attack. Buendia found him. Aston Villa furious here on the bench. I think one of Unai Emery's staff here has just been shown a yellow card. Not sure what they were. Not quite sure what prompted such an angry response from the Aston Villa bench, but it was a nice move, a good chance. Prior to that, Pau Torres judged to have fouled Doué, but I'm sure it wasn't dissent over that incident. And Zaire Emery then for PSG, plays it into Hakimi. Aston Villa really have their tails up. Can they find a way of getting ahead during this period of positivity? They've had the chances in the match. McGinn with the latest one there. Looking at the stats now, Villa have had 11 shots to PSG's 6, 3 on target, including that one from McGinn. I'd say the majority of them chances have come in the 15 minutes or so either side of half time. Hakimi can't bring the ball in without Maatsen nipping in and robbing it. Here is Pau Torres. Maggio holds the ball up. João Gomez can't quite bring it in, and PSG have the ball back. João Gomez wearing the number 35 shirt in his Villa debut. Vitinha. PSG left it very late last season, 2-0 down as mentioned earlier, with only 7 or 8 minutes left of the 90 against Spurs, but still managed to rescue a draw and then win on penalties. Although Aston Villa have had probably the better of the last 15 minutes or so, they still look fairly composed and content, PSG. Why wouldn't they be the back-to-back champions of Europe? Beat Arsenal on penalties in the final at the end of last season. Torres. It's been recorded that Pau Torres has been booked as well, so certainly a couple of yellow cards flung about by the referee. One to one of the Villa coaching staff and another to Pau Torres. Hakimi, PSG just settling in possession once again as they try and get a little bit of control back on the match. Scaly gets between the lines and he slides it through looking for Dembele, who's barely had a kick since coming on. Well read by Lindelof. Kamara though is outstretched and the ball gets to Dembele in the box. He couldn't get it out of his feet, and when he could, Torres was able to just poke it away from him. The ball bounces through to Bezo, the goalkeeper, who needs to hurry up here. Bezo, he just about gets rid of it before the dreaded referee's countdown, and it's towards Maggio. Hemmings gets there, goal side of, or in between ball and Zaire Emery to hold the ball up well. Hemmings. Now Maatsen to João Gomez. A bit of pressure. Doué. Now Kimi. He's queuing up there. Eventually it's being cleared. Is Safarov out to Zaire Emery, who's looks like he's more slotting in as at the right back three. He's playing that deep now. Very scaly. Zaire Emery shoots, but all the power taken out of it by deflection. Collision between McGinn and Nuno Mendes, and McGinn apoplectic that he didn't get a free kick. Here now is Buendia. Just can't quite get enough on his pass to find Hemmings. He's gone down. Buendia. He's a bit slow to get to his feet, but trying to continue. Vitinha at walking pace. He's Doué. Just a reminder, straight to penalties if the two sides can't be separated. Unai Emery, he can record his 6th UEFA club competition win tonight. There will only be 4 managers with more than him. Here's Hakimi on the right hand side, clips the ball in, headed out by Kamara. Those 4, by the way, Carlo Ancelotti, Pep Guardiola, Alex Ferguson and Trapattoni, so some fine company for Unai Emery if he's able to mastermind a Super Cup win for Villa here. Now, very scaly on the left for PSG, running at Cash, backing him towards the box. The captain McGinn comes to help out. Very scaly tries to flash a pass across, it's well intercepted by Buendia, and now Maggio and Buendia are striding forward on a counter-attack. It's 3v2 in PSG's favour. Maggio opts to turn and hold the ball up and waits for McGinn to arrive. McGinn a little casual, goes down under the challenge of Zaire Emery and settles for a throw-in. Maggio and Buendia, whether that will be the first choice partnership for Aston Villa, but Maggio, big target man with the smaller Buendia just feeding off him. Looks like a nice option for Unai Emery. Lost Morgan Rogers. Have to look at other ways they can be creative. There's Maatsen. He's got Hemmings outside him, uses Hemmings. Hemmings left foot cross, it flashes across. Safanov had a little bit of a flap at it. There was no Villa player really near him, but the goalkeeper wasn't too happy with it. The Russian seemed unsettled. He's helped it on its way for an Aston Villa throw-in on the right-hand side, which Cash has come forward to take, and throws in long towards Maggio. Why wouldn't you? Up in the air. Doué heads it away. João Gomez recovers it. Now Cash, room to line up across, and Buendia heads over the bar. Not the tallest, Buendia. Decent ball in from Cash, but Buendia got under it, heads it over the bar. Good game, Buendia, the Argentine. One of those players sometimes guilty of drifting out of games, and was told he could leave last summer, having spent the end of the previous season out on loan at Bayer Leverkusen. But managed to make 36 appearances in the Premier League last season. And he's certainly staked his claim for a place in the team. with his performance tonight so far. Cash is thrown down the line towards Maggio. And PSG bring the ball away. That looked like a foul by João Gomez. He just pulled, sorry, it was Hemmings who made the foul. He just pulled back Zaire Emery as he crossed halfway. So PSG in possession, but Doué is well offside. Flag stays down. Doué will shoot and score, but I'm almost certain the flag will go up. It was probably one of the more obvious offside flags that you're ever likely to see. There was no need for VAR to check that one. It's gone well too early. Why we've had to wait for the ball to go in the net before you give it. Matty Cash was quite late in jumping back up. And of course the ruling now is that the Aston player actually go and have a check at the goal on VAR. You just wonder whether Matty Cash, I mean, he did look way offside, Doué, but I wonder whether Matty Cash's trailing leg, and we know how tight some of these offside calls are. I wonder if some lines get drawn here. It might be closer than it actually looked. And it is a goal. And Doué, who looked an acre offside, kept his cool when everyone had stopped. He curls it into the corner and PSG have the lead. And Matty Cash, who jumped up really late, it looked like Doué was a mile offside, but the trailing leg of Matty Cash seems to have played Desiree Doué on, and PSG lead 2-1. And we'll wait and see this line on the screen, but it looks to me like Matty Cash has just played him onside. He was way behind the other three Aston Villa defenders, but Cash on the far side was just really late in jumping up. Virtually everyone on the field had stopped, but Doué, I think Doué himself thought he was a mile offside, but he carried on playing to the whistle as you should. And he finishes it well, curling it past Bizot into the far corner, and PSG have the lead. Doué played in the Super Cup final, in the Super Cup last season. He was actually subbed off when the score was 2-0 to Spurs. Here come Aston Villa looking for an instant response, and Hemmings with a touch, and Hemmings with a shot, and it's saved by Safonov. Comes out to Maatsen. His first touch is poor, and Zaire Emery is able to clear, but what a chance for Hemmings to score his first senior goal for Aston Villa. He shot straight at Safonov, and now there's a foul by João Gomez, and Gomez is actually going to be booked here for a foul on Doué. What a chance for Hemmings. It was a great first touch, got it out of his feet. He was only 8 yards out. An immediate response for Aston Villa. Pitch is confirmed. The lines are being drawn that Cash played Doué onside. Sure, maybe someone will be having a word with Matty Cash afterwards on the video about how late he jumped up, having the other three defenders were all in a line, but they were a good couple of yards up ahead of Cash. Doué, step over, gets him beyond Buendia. It comes out to Dembele, he puts the ball in, put out by Pau Torres. Dembele not got in the game much, he was man of the match last year in this fixture. Really seen much of the ball since coming on. He's just been tripped there by Gomez. He's going to have to be careful, having just picked up a yellow card. Doué's goal timed at 61 minutes. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Aston Villa 1. PSG looking to become only the 12th team to win 2 or more Super Cups, and only the 3rd team to do it in back-to-back seasons. Real Madrid have got 6, Barcelona and AC Milan have got 5, Liverpool have got 4, Real Madrid have got 3, and then Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Ajax, Anderlecht, Valencia and Juventus have all won 2 apiece. Aston Villa, of course, have won 1-2, so we're guaranteed that we were guaranteed whoever won this match that they'd be joining the multiple winners club. Nuno Mendes coming forward from left back, tries to thread the needle to find duo, well read by Matson, who's had a solid game at left back for Aston Villa. Buendia, a little too casual, gives the ball straight back to PSG. It's well hassled back by João Gomez, and then he plays it in behind from Maggio. Safanov out of his goal, well positioned, right at the corner of his penalty area to get onto the loose ball. Is down. He's lost his boot, he's replacing that. And Aston Villa won the Super Cup in '82. It was played over 2 legs. They beat Barcelona 3-0 at Villa Park after extra time, having lost the first leg at the Nou Camp. Mendes has been forced to go off on the sideline to get his boot back on. Signal from the referee. He didn't have a trainer. The trainer didn't come on to deal with him, but he's been told he has to go off, having held up the game. Throwing down the line for Maggio, who let it run. It's ran behind for a goal kick to PSG. And midway through the second half now. Still waiting to be allowed back on the field. Safanov signals all his players forward. Mendes allowed to rejoin. Matson battles with Douay. PSG get a throw. That's a loose pass from Zaire Emery, and Aston Villa got on with it quickly. Gomez throws it in for Buendia. Buendia sets it for Hemmings, but he's going to do well to stop Hakimi getting that ball, and then Hemmings shoves Hakimi down. And it's a goal kick. Whether Unai Emery might contemplate some changes to just freshen things up for Aston Villa. Here is Vitinha into Zaire Emery. It just signs that PSG with that goal just starting to tighten their grip on this match. 62% possession now in their favour. Here now is Hakimi on the right, who's just overran that. And someone's getting back at him. Safanov, the goalkeeper. To Vitinha. 20 minutes to go. PSG 2, Aston Villa 1. Now, Doué. Aston Villa are preparing a triple change. Now is very scary. Tammy Abraham. Whether Maggio ran his race. As Mendes crashes one left footed, it's beaten away by Bizzo. The rebound might fall for Kvaratskhelia. He's still bouncing around with Pau Torres. Eventually gets on it. I think Kvaratskhelia might have been offside anyway, but a chance. Now Aston Villa have a chance to come on the counter attack with Buendia. McGinn's got his arm raised on the far side. Buendia puts out a nice pass to Cash, and Cash has got McGinn in front of him. He uses John McGinn, the Scotland international, but his pass is well read by Joe. He goes down wanting a cheap free kick, and he gets a cheap free kick. Bizzo is helping Mendes with a bit of cramp. So Abraham is going to come on for Maggio, who's scored on his debut, the youngest ever player to both appear and score in the UEFA Super Cup. Left foot volley, and what a start for him. He certainly looks like someone to watch in the upcoming Premier League campaign. So he's been replaced by Tammy Abraham, former Chelsea and Roma forward. John McGinn and Boubacar Kamara are also coming off. On goes Alisson and Bogard. So triple change. Lamar Bogard, the Dutchman, 22. He'll go on the right hand side of the field. Alisson, the Brazilian, will give another option up front. Bogard not yet full Netherlands international. He's in there under 21s. Netherlands have appointed Xavi, the former Barcelona and Spain midfielder, as their new head coach earlier today. That's a nice touch and a nice impact straight away from Alisson. Gets to the byline, puts it right across the box. Safonov puts it out, and there's a shot, and what a block from Zaire Emery. But the ball's still alive. Matson on the edge of the box. He goes on the outside of Zaire Emery, almost barges him down, and in the end wins the ball back. But that was a chance for Aston Villa, and it might have been Bogard with the follow-up shot. What a block from Zaire Emery. Great run from Alisson, direct. Safonov just pushed it out into an area, and it was João Gomez who hit it left-footed first time. I'm sure he was expecting it to nestle into the back of the net, but for the diving lunge of Zaire Emery. John McGinn, meanwhile, has been booked for re-entering the field of play. He was walking off on the other side of the pitch, having been substituted, and he wasn't happy with where a free kick was being taken, and he ran onto the pitch to remonstrate with the officials. Got a yellow card for that. PSG respond with a couple of changes of their own. Lucas Hernandez is going to replace Mendes, who was receiving some treatment for cramp just a moment ago. João Neves is coming off, so he'll be replaced by Fabian Ruiz, fresh from his World Cup winning exploits with Spain. Now Aston Villa on the attack again as Alisson tries to flick it through for Cash. That's well read from Lindelof, and he keeps the attack alive for Aston Villa. Cash on the right. Abraham's in the box. Left foot cross from Matty Cash. It takes a deflection, which means a free header for Pacho. Cash still keeps it alive. Alisson finds João Gomez. João Gomez tries to return the ball, but Kvaratskhelia intercepts, and now he and Coutinho are able to play it out for PSG. 15 minutes to go in the UEFA Super Cup. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Aston Villa 1. Desiree Doué with a goal that we all thought was offside, but VAR ruled that Matty Cash had played him onside on the far side, and that is the difference between the two sides. Kvaratskhelia has had one left on him here by João Gomez. He's already on a yellow card. And, actually it was Abraham who left it on, and João Gomez was just around the area at the time. Coutinho for PSG. Up to Hernandez, who's come on left back. Surprised no Luca Digne. PSG had signed from Aston Villa. He's not being given a run against his former club. Bizot, the Aston Villa goalkeeper, will be charged down by Dembele, but plays the ball out to Cash on the right. He chases the ball up towards him, but it's cleared. Now Kvaratskhelia on the left. These crosses half blocked by Cash. It squeezes through for Doué, who's making a run over from the far side, and in the end Alisson has managed to get a throw in for Aston Villa in the corner. 20 years old, Alisson, signed for Aston Villa at the start of the January transfer window for £8.7 million from Gremio. Lively in his first few minutes. Aston Villa will need something lively to happen if they're going to get back into this. 2-1 down. Of course, last year it was 2-2 and went to pens, and I think Aston Villa would take that if you offered it now. Buendia. He's first out a ball that's behind Matson. Matson does well to keep it in with agility from the left back. It's Pau Torres. To play it forward for Buendia, well read by Marquinhos, who uses his goalkeeper well, and Safanov plays it out to Hakimi. Buendia and Abraham trying to chase it down, but Hakimi gets away from Buendia. Hernandez brings it forward. Kvaratskhelia thought that he'd let that run out, but he's managed to keep it in, and he runs at Matty Cash, now wearing the captain's armband for Aston Villa. Nice 1-2 with Ruiz. Cash dives in, manages to intercept the pass, and then Ruiz trips Bogart. Ross Barkley and Tyrone Mings are going to enter the play for Aston Villa. João Gomez and Pau Torres make their way off, so just like for like changes. João Gomez on the yellow card. His competitive Aston Villa debut. And Ross Barkley. Now 32 years old. Barkley was once thought to have a really bright future in the game, and not quite reached the levels that everyone thought he might. When he was at Everton, made a big move to Chelsea, didn't quite work out, but he's entering his third season at Aston Villa. Which comes in from the left, cleared by Safanov. Scalia. Free kick, which will not take around 10 minutes of the match. It's faced out to Matson. Hines in front of him, plays it back to Barkley. First touch for him. Barkley trying to make something happen. More cash, more experience in the field with Barkley and Mings. Lindelof plays it into Buendia, tries to flick it round the corner. Sorry, it was Hemmings who tried to flick it round the corner for Buendia. It was read by PSG, and you sense it might start opening up for PSG on the counter-attack. Dembele on the right-hand side, running at Tyrone Mings, cuts onto his left foot. Dembele then gets past Mings, and then the loose ball falls for Kvaratskhelia. He chips it over the goalkeeper, but not really towards goal. Cash headed it away. I think it would have drifted wide anyway, but now Aston Villa are coming the other way with Tammy Abraham, and Matson's making a hell of a run to the left, but Abraham might go himself. He slides it through, and it's Alisson. Oh, and he's put it right across the face of goal. I'm not sure whether Abraham was expecting Alisson to shoot. Alisson puts it right across goal, but behind Abraham. Pacho kept backing off. I wonder whether Abraham would shoot, but he played it to Alisson. Alisson was probably too wide to shoot. The angle probably too narrow. He's put it right across goal where perhaps Abraham should have been expecting it. And is that the chance for Aston Villa to get back into the match? Gone. So chances at both ends there. And Villa have given the ball away, and could PSG finish it off? No, Lindelof nips it. Buendia now finds Alisson. Some tidy play from Alisson. Buendia, bit of a stretch to try and find Hemmings there, which get as much pace on it as he would have liked. Time ticking on, and time isn't on Aston Villa's side at the moment. As Scalia finds some space. Dembele was offside, so that chance doesn't matter. Free kick towards the edge of the box for Bizo. Goes long towards Hemmings. Good header by Hakimi. Now Barkley to Hemmings. Hemmings goes on the outside, gets a low cross in, and it's cleared. Hemmings was hoping to go for corner, but it's only a throw-in. Throws it into Buendia. Now here's Ross Barkley trying to create an angle maybe for a shot or for a cross. Nice 1-2 though between Buendia and Hemmings. Is well read by Hakimi. Turning it up a little notch here, putting PSG under pressure. Final 5.5 minutes. Matson goes on a direct run, the left back, tried to beat Hakimi, pokes the ball away and makes the last clear unceremoniously all the way through to Bizo, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. Nice flick by Abraham. Buendia tried to play it back. He was hoping to get a foul, but the referee wasn't forthcoming. Alisson's back heel frees up some space for Matty Cash. Struggled well by Lucas Hernandez. Then coughs up possession of the ball. Beauregard can't get to it. PSG back in possession. Time ticking away for Aston Villa. Paris Saint-Germain 2, Aston Villa 1. Keane with some space on the right hand side for PSG. One more goal for them finishes the contest. Dembele plays it forward, takes a deflection, and Hakimi's not giving up his run, and it means that Lindelof has to deal with it. It means he's now being backed into a bit of a corner, uses Matson to get out, and Aston Villa have done well. Hemmings plays it off Marquinhos for a throw-in. PSG are going to make another change, just to wind the clock down. Doué, the potential match winner, is coming out to be replaced by Seni Yulu, one of the homegrown talents PSG. He scored in the Champions League final win over Inter Milan in 2025. Becoming the third youngest goal scorer in the final of all time. Here's Barker on the halfway line for Aston Villa. 3 minutes left. Was that opportunity that Alisson put on for Abraham? Was that the chance for Aston Villa to force a penalty shootout? Now is Alisson. Cash. Somehow managed to turn away from Pacho and then was brought down. It's a good game from Buendia. Another change for PSG is Beraldo. He's going to replace Scalia, the scorer of the first goal of the game, in the 20th minute. Ronaldo scored the 5th penalty for PSG in the Champions League final penalty shootout against Arsenal. It was his penalty that came before Gabriel, the Arsenal centre-back, skied his effort, which meant that PSG won the trophy for a second successive year. Fabian Ruiz puts Cash under pressure, and Cash manages to win a throw. Well, he thought he had, but it's gone the other way, and this will give PSG the chance just to wind the clock down. 90 seconds left of normal time. There'll be much less of that left once PSG take this throw in. 509 passes complete by PSG compared to 243 from Aston Villa. PSG just squeeze on the Villains in the second half at times. Cash clears up the line. Abraham flicks on. There's nobody behind him, so he'll have to give chase, and he starts to put Marquinhos under pressure, but Marquinhos keeps his cool. Now though is Beauregard. It's a heavy touch and got away from him. Beauregard, he perhaps had a bit too much space, and now Dembele comes forward for PSG. He was tricked by Matson, but he gets back up. Ousmane Dembele, referee plays an advantage, and Bizot gets down to make a comfortable save. At the moment, Aston Villa just can't get close enough to the PSG goal. Mings puts it down the line. Matson gives chase. Zaire Emery covers well and plays it back to Safonov. Slice clearance though from the goalkeeper, and Alisson heads it down to Buendia. Buendia tried to feed it in for Abraham. Well read by Marquinhos. We await the board to see how much added on time there's going to be at the end of this match. Minutes to be added on. Lindelof. There's Dembele. There's Fabian Ruiz. PSG taking the sting out of things. Beraldo. Aston Villa just haven't been able to get any chances, but will they get a chance here with Abraham? He's on the right hand side, right edge of the penalty area. Couple of step overs. Here is Bogard, now Barkley. Back to Matson. Barkley, Matson again. Goes out to Mings. Buendia keeping hold of the ball here. Aston Villa need to find a way of breaking PSG down. It's a poor pass from Alisson. Cash has done well to keep it in, but they've coughed up possession and it'll be a goal kick to PSG. Abraham, now Buendia. 2 minutes left of added on time. Villa got a chance in them. PSG just managing the end of the game well. Barkley, the pressure from Dembele, finds Matty Cash. Just can't quite find the way to break PSG down. To Beraldo. Dembele puts it through. And Kimi can't quite get to it before Bezo. Last minute of added on time. Can Aston Villa force a penalty shootout? Hemmings finds Mings. They just can't get out their own half at the moment, Aston Villa. PSG putting them under pressure. Need to get the ball forward. Mings manages to find Hemmings. He's got Matson to his left. He digs out a pass to Ian Matson. Matson, this is it now. He's on the left, needs to get the ball in the box. He clips it up towards the run of Buendia, who heads it wide. It was a difficult chance. He was arriving late. He just couldn't quite get. It was a bit behind in the ball. He just couldn't get it on target. And maybe that is that for Aston Villa. is Barkley.